God don't play about me. He don't play. Yeah, I asked him for a little, he gave me a lot. Didn't just pay the bill, y'all he paid it off. I thought I blew my chance, then he spent the block. He opened every door that the devil locked. He turned my world.
Well, good morning, good morning. This is your host, Dr. Antonio Jones, District 3 City Council member. Welcome to Dialogue with the Doc, or as some of my constituents say, Dialogue with the D3 Doc. God bless you. Welcome. Excited to have you here. As usual, I'm going to say a quick prayer, and then we're going to jump right in. Father, we thank you for this opportunity you've given us once again to come before you. We thank you for these great guests that we have in the studio on today. We thank you for these young people, God, that will share with us on today. We thank you for every program. We thank you for the city. I thank you that you are continuing to cover not only my district, but the city, and we thank you for the budget that was just passed. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. All right, well, we're going to jump right in because I don't want to spend a lot of time on me. I asked these guests to come in, and I want to definitely give them time to do so. But, however, I must address something very, very quickly, something some of my constituents have brought to my attention, and I really, really need to address it. I don't address a lot of things, and young folks, I know you all, a lot of things happen on social media. I'm not I don't dwell there. However, whenever things are just simply not true, I have to address them. So very quickly, it's been stated and shared repeatedly, apparently, that yours truly, along with some other individuals, but again, I'm speaking to Jones, did not support a 0 cents budget. That is totally false. My constituents know, my District 3 members know, my collective, meet with them regularly. Even before the budget session, I already told them some items that I wanted to put forth and what I was not going to accept, which was any increase. And so our city manager and staff, they did their due diligence. They gave us several budgets with increases. That's what they usually do. That's nothing peculiar about that, and they also gave one with 0 cent increase. With the 0 cent increase, I want to make a note there. One of the items that I wanted definitely was the Office of Community Safety Crisis Response Team. 2 teams, 4 individuals. That was already in the 0 cent budget proposal. Think there was some confusion around that. Yesterday, at the end of yesterday's meeting, I specifically asked our Assistant City Manager Yates, can you explain, can you share that those particular positions were already at 0%? He affirmed that. And so that was one of the items that I supported simply because we need the mental health response. So I was not giving on that. And so where this came from, I have no idea, but I wanted to set the record straight. And as always, let me share this. You can reach out to me directly. You know, I'm responsive. You can reach out to me at Antonio Jones at FayettelleNC.gov. We can talk, but again, I need you to know, the community, my district, which you already know, but I need you to know because it gives the appearance that we did not support it. We did. Go back and look at yesterday's meeting. The final budget passed 9-1, meaning 9 people. 9 of us were for it. 1 person was against it. So that's the official vote that said we are going to move forward this budget to Monday's meeting, which is where it is officially adopted. So I want to share that. Now, Friday, and you can go back. I encourage each of you to go back and look at these budget sessions. I really need you to do something before you assume, hey, Jones, you really didn't do that. That's some people are more inclined to believe untruths, and that's fine. That's their prerogative. So my job just for today, and again, after today, it's done because, again, it is just simply not true. It's just simply not true. So Friday, we were presented with some options. Again, all of us get an opportunity to give items that we want to see in the budget, our wish list. We talk to our constituents and find out, hey, what would you like to see? And we try to put that forth in the budget. So we gave staff early direction that we want 0% tax increase. That's a consensus. We gave that early on, and so they were having to take what they presented, which was a recommendation, take what we were giving them, all of that, and wrap it under the direction of council, which was simply make it happen with 0-cent increase. So what that means, you take from here, you take from there, and you try to make it happen. So the challenge sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, you have 10 individuals that want 10 different things, and we have a limited pot of money starting at 0 cents. And so you have to remove some things. You have to find money, right? You have to find money. So we went through those processes, and everybody wants their item on the board. Everybody wants it on there, but they want it funded. And sometimes it's just not the case. It's just not the case. And so last Friday, we had to make a vote to see if we were agreeing in concept to the items, and those will be posted online. You can see those as well online, where we pulled some money from some areas and some things that were what we call a parking lot, a list of here's some items we want funded in the budget. And so those would fit within the 0 cent increase realm. So of course, all of us did not agree with everything that was on there, and rightfully so. I mean, it's very challenging to get 10 people to agree on something, especially when everyone wants something within their area. So I respect that. But as it was proposed, I could not. I didn't vote for that. It was not. Let me repeat. It was not a vote for 0 cent tax because we had already given staff consensus. We have given them direction. Again, go back and review it, everything that I've said. So I just find it very disingenuous so I don't address a lot of things because, again, whether, and I'll say this wholeheartedly, and I'm going to get ready to go to a break after we finish. I want to definitely get our guest in. Look, I am always going to do my due diligence as a representative. You have to scrutinize things, and scrutiny doesn't mean that's not in a negative way, meaning you're going to question things because, again, you want your item and then you want some understanding on some things. So you have to have that time built in. Whether we want to stay there or not, that's part of the process, you all. And whether I think someone's question is irrelevant, whether I think is unfounded, that's subjective, right? Because who am I to really say your question doesn't matter? It doesn't matter. We already did. It doesn't matter if a council person that was elected by the community needs to come in and share something. That's what they have to do, because at the end of the day, we have to answer to you all, and that's what I am doing right now. So again, heard it here. I will be putting something online later. My Facebook page is Councilman Antonio Jones. Today will be the last day I'm addressing this nonsense, simply because it's simply not true. And I want to say this, come next year this time, where there's 20 people that people try to put against me to run, that's fine. You all, it is totally fine. Here's my point. I will be number 21. I'm not going anywhere. I cannot not ask questions. I can't scrutinize things because you as a community have already told me what you wanted. And so I took that in mind going into the budget session. And the beautiful part, I had already articulated to District 3 what that was going to look like. And my district knows that I was always for 0 cent increase. That's always where we was looking at. Lastly, some of the things that I did support, I put on the parking lot, some things for consideration in the City Hall chambers before we moved over to the smaller room. One of the things I had our assistant manager put on the board, and that board is some things that you want funded even though it's unfunded at the time, was drones for first responders. I did that for a reason because we had, the chief had some 38 positions, and so we were looking at doing those, but he spoke about the need to expand. We already have a drone division. We already have it. This is an expansion of it. It would be good, so I put that on the board. Number two, the other item that I put forth on the board was came from a council request, which was to increase the benches, shelters, and trash cans across the city, because I got tired of seeing people sitting in the rain, you all, sitting in the rain and with children, things of that nature. So I'm like, we got money, we can do it. So I put those items on the board. And again, those are proposals because, again, if there's no money, some items are not going to get funded. Well, fast forward, those two items did get funded. So I'm grateful for that, So I say all this, again, to just recap very plainly, very succinctly. Any thoughts, any mention, any words that were spoken that Councilman Antonio Jones did not support 0 cent tax increase is simply false. Reach out to me. Don't listen to anyone. You can come directly to me. I've always been accessible. I'm there. I have no issue talking with you. I can share further detail, but again, just the fact that I'm having to address this as it's ridiculous a little bit, to be honest. So today it's done. I'm going to do it. And if people decide to go ahead and go on campaigns and keep pushing the agenda, it's fine. Again, you'll have some individuals that will always, they're looking for unbeliefs. And I know the young folks, you all can attest to that. Some people are just looking for a reason just to jump on a bandwagon to pull you down. They don't like what you're doing. If you don't fit into whatever that looks like, if you don't fit into this mold, and if you don't necessarily do what people think you should do, or act a certain way, behave a certain way, vote a certain way, I expect that. It comes with the territory. However, I can tell you, as your representative, I'm going to operate with the greatest respect. I'm not going to do that. I do not hold things against folks. And I just wanted to come on and just set the record straight before we jump on. So I want to hear from these great young folks. So again, we're getting ready to go to break, and we're going to come back with these great individuals. But again, this is Dr. Antonio Jones, District 3. Again, being very blunt, very succinct, your council person for District 3 did support from the beginning to the end 0-cent tax increase as seen through the 9-1 votes, and which will be seen on Monday. All right, God bless. And in the words of the Bible that I read, everybody that's coming at me, you know what? You're doing something great, young people. If they have to team up, it's fine. But guess what? I'll forgive you. I don't hold anything against you. I'm going to still do the work of the people. God bless, and we're going to go to break. You're listening to WIDU 1600 AM, Dialogue with the Doc.
Yeah, he don't play. God be showing out. He don't play about me. He don't play. On Monday I woke up.
With a deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz to be signed this weekend, how long before fuel prices come down? That is an unknown. Authorities are urging residents and visitors to prioritize water safety after 4 drowning deaths were reported across western North Carolina and upstate South Carolina over the weekend. A bill awaiting Governor Josh Stein's signature is prompting Onslow County commissioners to rethink their budget plans before the June 30th deadline. County commissioners say that Senate Bill 889 would require them to use previous year's property values instead of updated revaluation numbers from this year. Greenville Police Department Chief Richard Tyndall has announced his retirement. Chief Tyndall has had a career in law enforcement for more than 30 years. Stanley Cup is officially back in Raleigh. A parade for the Canes will be Saturday in Raleigh. Mike Rayleigh, NCI News.
I'm Jamie Monticelli, WIDU Radio News. The City of Fayetteville government offices will be closed Friday, June 19th in observance of Juneteenth. Household and yard waste along with recycling will be collected as regularly scheduled. The Cumberland County Sheriff says as the weather warms up, a lot of families will be spending time on the lakes, rivers, and waterways. Whether you are fishing, tubing, swimming, or just enjoying a day on the water, safety should always be your top priority. The sheriff wants to remind everyone that a fun day on the water can quickly turn dangerous if proper precautions are not taken. Always wear a properly fitted life jacket. Life jackets save lives, and everyone on board should have one available. Never drive a boat while impaired by alcohol or drugs. Check the weather forecast before heading out and be prepared for changing conditions. Ensure your boat has all the required safety equipment, including navigation lights, fire extinguishers, and a sound-producing device. From WIDU Radio, I'm Jamie Monticelli.
We're on the lookout for rain, and we're watching a potential tropical system in the western Gulf that could get picked up by the next cold front brought our way at the end of the work week. As of right now, that's the next best chance for rain. Today will be mostly cloudy. It's a lot of thick upper-level clouds, pleasant temperatures, low humidity, mid to maybe upper 80s. Mostly cloudy, milder tonight with upper 60s to about 70. It's hot, it's humid for Wednesday with highs in the low to mid-90s. I'm Mike Mays in the NCN Weather Center.
Hi, I'm Mitch Colvin, president of Colvin Funeral Home and Crematory. For over 50 years, our family has provided professional services with dignity, compassion, and respect with families during a time of need. We realize funeral services are as unique as those we're honoring. We offer a variety of affordable, quality services tailored to meet each family's needs, specializing in burial and cremation services. Proudly servicing Cumberland, Robeson, Hoke, Harnett, Bladen, and surrounding counties from 2 locations, 2010 Murchison Road, Fayetteville, 1904 Elizabethtown Road, Lumberton. For more information, visit our website, www.hmcolvin.com.
Come out and celebrate Independence Day at Festival Park. Enjoy a free concert featuring the Fayetteville Symphony Orchestra and the 82nd Airborne Division Band. End the evening with a spectacular fireworks show. The event takes place on Saturday, July 4th. Gates open at 6 p.m. and the concert begins at 7:30. Bring a blanket or lawn chair and enjoy an evening of celebration.
If you need a lawyer or you've been involved in an accident resulting in serious injury, call the Rogers Firm at 910-433-0833. We have a proven track record for getting results for persons injured due to the negligence of others. What you don't know can hurt you, and you need a firm who cares about you. So call the Rogers Firm at 910-433-0833. That's Attorney Alan Rogers and the Rogers Firm, a proud member and sponsor of Wake Up.
This is Apostle V.L. Whitfield of Righteous God Ministries, 2444 Orange Drive. You are listening to Wake Up.
It's time again for your conference, CCFM Conference 2026, Wednesday, June 24th through Saturday, June 27th at the Florence Center, Florence, South Carolina. We will welcome Apostle Joshua Giles, Pastor T. Renee Glenn, Dr. Darius Daniels, Pastor John F. Hanna, Bishop Melvin Lambert, Bishop Bobby Hilton, and our psalmists, Pastor Smokey Norfolk, Pastor Wendy Wyatt, Pastor Naomi Rain, Pastor Lillian Lloyd. Yes, this is your conference, CCFM Conference 2026 at the Florence Center. Admission is free, but registration has major advantages. For more information, go to ccfmnation.org, ccfmnation.org. You don't want to miss the King's Summit CCFM Conference 2026, June 24th through the 27th. Come hungry for God's presence.
This is Sarah Alford, and I am the pastor of Joy Fellowship Outreach Ministry located at 18336 Highway 87 West, Tar Heel, North Carolina. And I am excited to be a part of Wake Up.
God don't play about me. He don't play. Yeah, I asked him for a little. He gave me a lot. Didn't just pay the bill. Y'all ain't paying it off. I thought I blew my chance. Then he spent the block. He opened every door that the devil locked. He turned my worry.
Because God don't play about me. Thank you for listening to WIDU 1600 AM. You're listening to Dialogue with the Doc with your host, Dr. Antonio Jones, your District 3 Council member for the city of Fayetteville. And I'm excited to be here today. I have some great guests in the studio, and we want to definitely give them time to share and what they're doing. And so before I start and introduce Mr. Brooks, I just want to say first, I appreciate everything that you all are doing. I appreciate it. I sincerely do. A lot of times, and Kevin, I know I've known you for a while, I see a little bit of you, me and you, in the sense of we do things a lot of times not for notoriety. We just do things. We just get the work done. We don't need notoriety. We don't need the pats on the back. We just get the work done. So I appreciate that, because that comes with a level of humility that is sometimes misconstrued as weakness, but meekness is definitely not it. That takes a lot. So I appreciate your commitment to our community and definitely to the youth. So I wanted to just start off with that. So I want to first introduce the executive director of the Group Theory Incorporated, none other than Mr. Kevin Brooks. Had an opportunity again to work with him even before council, JCPC, I was the vice chair there, and just really got to understand the importance of the work that you do. So welcome this morning, sir.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot for having us, and you very humble opening. So glad to be here. Glad to have my family here with me as well.
Yes, yes, yes. So I'm going to back off, and I want you to introduce your staff here, and then we'll just jump in because I really want the community to know what you're doing. A lot of times we can do some great work, and some folks will know, and that's what I appreciate about you. The results that you produce, sometimes it's underappreciated, and so I want to say here openly, I appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
Well, I appreciate it, and let me first say a lot of the work that we do at the group theory is we can't tell it. Like we don't brag about it outwardly and publicly because of who we serve.
Absolutely.
And we want to have respect for those persons and their privacy and how they confide in us and the fact that they trust us to call us at all different times of the day. And I cannot do this alone. I've never done anything with this organization alone. Even when I was a barber, I had to have a client in order to call myself that. So
that's true.
To my left here is a young lady that's been with us for about 3 months, almost 3 months now. So this is Miss Tiana Godwin. She's the project manager for the PROVE project, which is proactive, responsible outreach over violence with education. She helps keep things kind of clean. She's been chronicling the work that we've been doing. This is the 10-year anniversary of the group theory, so we're very blessed to say that. She's been chronicling a lot of the work that we've done over the last decade, how we got started, you know, what has been our successes, and not only that, what have been our challenges as well. So we're not a perfect organization. We've had ups and downs and bumps and bruises, but because of our strategic intention to do things with a community partnership in mind, we're able to thrive and be able to assist people. And throughout my years here in Fayetteville, 22 years that I've been here in Fayetteville, I've met some people that are right along this corridor. Mr. Mark Sweezy is joining me this morning. He is one of those persons. I've known Mark since he was probably a lot younger.
The day over 21.
Yes. But a lot of times you can see the potential in people that they can't see.
Yes.
And that requires patience. And again, humility, knowing that I had to come from somewhere. The weird part about me living in Fayetteville a lot of times is I lived a whole nother life before I came here. And a lot of that humility and not speaking out publicly and biting my tongue is because I had to learn. And there's a lot of stuff that I know. A lot of stuff I know about people. But having people like Mark in my life, to meet him one way, and for our relationship and our brotherhood to have grown and how we support each other is also humbling. And to his left is Mr. Troy. So Mark worked with our Build Yourself program, and he's one of our facilitators. He also has been working at Westover High School for four years, restorative justice, and he's now transferring over to Southview.
Okay.
Ironically, where we've been working at over this last school year with middle school and high school students with the Build Yourself program. And so the PROVE project I mentioned earlier is also we have to have people in the community. We have to have people in the streets helping us spread the word of what we're trying to do. The PROVE project has to have people that have not just lived experiences, but have respect for people who are maybe going through some things that maybe they didn't witness. Maybe they didn't grow up like that. And so Mr. Troy Shaw is one of those persons. He didn't grow up like everybody, but he grew up seeing enough of everybody to help somebody. And that's what we appreciate. And everybody that we bring on our staff brings their own uniqueness. Everybody is not doing the exact same work, but we have to be mindful of what everybody is doing for work.
Absolutely.
And so, and then over here to my right, this group of, I don't know how many people, I was trying to set the record for how many people I could bring in the studio.
Hey, you close. This is awesome.
But
awesome.
I may not set the record, but I may have the record for the age of people that I have in here, right? So the range of age of people in here, I might be winning. But I have Ms. Kiara Jones, who's also a facilitator, a program assistant, and all things that we need done. She has a camera beside her right now, so she's helping us a lot with our improved social media. And then we have a couple of interns. We have Miss Elena. This is her first day from Fayetteville State. And we have Kayla, who I can't see, but I know she's over there. This is her third week with us as a Fayetteville State intern. And we also have some of our Build Yourself students that are participating in our leadership and development camp, summer camp. And at that summer camp, we are showing them all the ways, the spills, the thrills of what it's like to be an adult, from voting to what your money pays for after you do vote. And so a lot of the conversations that I've heard this morning, starting at about 7:30, 8 o'clock, has been hindered around that, but this is exactly what we're teaching them, how to be involved, how to bring value to your existence in your communities.
Absolutely. So I want to start with you, sir, because he said something. There has to be a respect for. Can both of you talk about that? Because that's really, really important. An individual, a young person told me, they say, you know what? It's amazing how the word they use, how hypocritical some adults can be, as if they have never experienced some missteps in their life. And when they experience missteps, yes, we teach and train, but it's as if they didn't. So can you both just kind of speak to that?
Oh, well, I feel like it's very important that we, people who, it's one thing, I know growing up, I don't know about you, and I'm pretty sure we think the same way on this, but growing up, I believe that I used to hear a lot of people pouring into us, you know, whether it was the DARE program or different programs that were around the community, but it was something about listening to somebody who'd been through something. You know, the word even talks about, you know, they overcame by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. So I already stand on the fact of, I will listen to a lot of different people, but I will listen to people who've been there, you know, and overcame things.
Sure.
So it's easier to listen to them, and I think with us, one thing that Mr. Brooks taught us was try out of your vocabulary. We're gonna do it. Just do it
like
style.
that.
So I believe that it's very important that the kids, you meet someone where they're at. A lot of times people are judging and not and forgetting that we once had a test.
Yes, come on,
we haven't
tell the
always
truth.
been saved and filled with the
Tell
Holy
the
Ghost
truth,
either.
tell the
So it
truth.
feels good to, you know, to overcome it and to reach back. 'Cause the point of is overcoming and going back and reaching back out to those and building that respect by meeting them where they're at.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I agree on that. I would say more like, yeah, meet them where they at, no judgment zone. A lot of people I know, I try to teach them because we still learning every day. So
Yes, I like that.
I try to just build them up, show them other things to do, think of another positive way in the community, you know. So that's what I get from it. Mr. Brooks have us out here, you know, motivating. I give out clothes to the homeless. I, you know, feed them, you know, bring them in. You know, it's a village. You know, we raise our own, and I feel like that's how we gotta guide them, because the summer look like it's gonna be crazy.
Absolutely. So I want, before I jump back on this side, I want to ask you all a question. What are you hearing? We're really invested in our youth. I know I love the youth programming. We have a new nonprofit down the road as well on this end of northern end of Murchison Road. There's a lot of focus, so we definitely want to make sure that we provide the services for our youth. And a lot of times, sometimes adults don't want to hear what the youth are telling us. One of the things, like the event that you had over at Country Club Church, one of the things that came out was we don't have too much to do. And a lot of people get offended at that. But again, look at your age group.
Right.
It might be some things for you to do. So can you just speak to that to help us? Because that helps identify resources, opportunities that we can actually put in place or partner with organizations such as this to help. But what are you hearing from our youth? Because I'm sure you hear the real side of it, and that's what I appreciate.
We're really hearing that nobody's asking them anything, and it's not enough events for us. Like, I know when we were growing up, we went to the teen club, and I know it used to be kind of wild with the fights and stuff like that, but it's different now where, you know, these kids aren't fighting, they're shooting. They're shooting first and asking questions later. So I believe that a lot of kids are trying to figure out, even with them on rec team, I know Smith Recreation for years didn't have a football team, and people were paying for them to go out for the team. So I believe that a lot of kids, they really don't want to come outside. That's the sad part. We're trying to get them, trying to find their interest, you know, besides these phones. But a lot of them really, even with teaching at Westover, that's one thing I always ask them, like, you know, what is it that y'all want to do? Because you can come up with a bunch of events, and different things, but getting the kids out there. So I believe we have to do a better job of having the right people in place to even ask them this question, because this is a very good question. It depends on the type of students, kids that we have around. Depends on the type of answer you would get. But a lot of them, they want to do something outside. They want to do something like a golf. I hear golf, the top golf. I hear that a lot from a lot of different kids. You know. So me too. I remember that too. I was seconding them on that one. So.
Yeah, that's good. And that we're focused. That's one of our top priorities on council is public safety. So to hear our youth say that. We have some work to do, but we're committed to it. We made some great strides, and we will continue to do so. So what about you, young man?
More of my kids that I run into, they more like that in the house, on the phone, tech, computer, stuff like that. So I try to build programs that get them interested in stuff like that, circuit boards and stuff like that. The rest of them, I normally have kids in sports, but I just try to, the most kids I'm running into is mostly tech savvy, RC type of kids, so video gamers, stuff like that. So that's how I try to, make them, you gotta break the ice, make them comfortable,
I like that. And that goes back to, I think, what one of you all said, meeting them where they are. So for us, I hear we need to also make sure that we're partnering with organizations, Fayetteville Tech, things of that nature, small businesses that will foster that technological aspect to build those skill sets. Because again, there are a lot of opportunities that we can expose our youth to.
Swimming is big too. Swimming.
Yes,
Swimming.
absolutely. And Smith, their women and men's team won the championship this year. So it's a growing interest in that. So I appreciate that, because it's important for us to hear. We as adults, we don't know everything. We don't get it right all the time. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I just wanted to add that what Mark and Troy are saying is that they're also credible. It's building that trust and that rapport with the community, but they're also credible messengers, because you could tell somebody something, it could be a parent, but if you're hearing it from another individual or somebody who you may not know or a friend, it comes off different. And so them having that credibility with the youth, with the community, it helps to upkeep the relationships with the community, with the partnerships. And also just asking them, what do they need or what are they looking for? That is walking with them and not guiding them to something.
I like that.
That is something that you just as a person who has a caseload, when you are working with an individual, you're not necessarily trying to guide them to what they should be doing, but you're trying to help them to get to where they want to go, but also not pushing them to do something that they may not want to do. So that's why when I'm thinking about or listening to Mark or Troy talk, I'm thinking about they're credible. People are going to listen to what they're saying. People are going to take it to heart. And it's going to come off a different way than a parent trying to tell their child what to do, because they have a different.
And as parents, guess what? And welcome, Miss Brian Outreach.
Hello.
Thank you so much. Glad to have you. And that's one of the things I make sure, even as a parent, just to make sure I'm not the only voice for my child, and not being so, we're so protective, because if you can reach them, go for it. As long as I know what you're imparting, so that's very key.
And,
yes,
and
sir.
it's important that when we engage them, right, having a plan for them in place after we are able to engage them and build that rapport, build that trusted relationship. One thing that we've learned over the last several years is we can tell kids and people stop, no, don't. But then what happens after that?
Yes.
Right? Where is the platform for what happens after okay, so you don't want me to do this? Okay, I still got to eat. I still got to have this.
Yes.
So it's a good segue to introduce Tamika Bryant, who is our outreach coordinator. And Tamika's job, I'll let her tell you that, but we need her to have those trust relationships too. So we may have trust relationships in the community, but that has to translate somewhere, and I'll let her kind of tell you what she does.
Good morning. My name, as you said.
Yeah, you got pink in your glasses?
Yes, well, you know. You're lucky there's no green in there as well. My name is Tamika Bryant, as everyone was saying. I am the outreach coordinator for the group Theory.
And what she can sing.
I'm multi-talented, as a lot of people know here, because I'm born and bred from Fayetteville, North Carolina, you know, a graduate and alumni of E.E. Smith High School. The Golden Bulls, thank you.
We'll let you slide.
But what is my job here at the Group Theory? I gain access. And how do I do that? I gain access to our resources. A lot of our clients come in and they need resources. So the easy thing would be to say, okay, here's a phone number, here's the organization, just call it.
That's true.
It doesn't work that way here. That's easily a door closed and someone walking away from an opportunity to get advancement and be successful in whatever they want to do. So what I do is I foster relationships with these organizations. I go in, I say, hi, this is my organization, this is what I do. Who is the point of contact, or who are the points of contact that we can reach out to, that when I have a client that comes in, they call me, our street team calls, they call and say, hey, we need help. We need you to get out there, make those phone calls, make that easy handoff so that these clients can get what they need. We have a lot of collaborative events that we do, and we work hand in hand with each organization, nonprofits, you know, everyone here in the organization, in the organizations that are doing nonprofit and helping our citizens and our community members. I am born and bred here, as I said, so I have a heart, and I'm humbled to be in this seat to be able to say that we're making a difference. People know who we are.
Yes.
People know who Mr. Brooks is. And we are humbled to have a great executive director who has his hands on so many things here in our community and make positive changes. So that's what I do. It's not a easy task and job, because a lot of times it's very heartfelt. You know, it's something that we've had experience in. You know, living and being from here, we have a lot of things that have happened to each person in our organization that we can say, hey, I understand what you're going through. Let me help you. Let me not come from a place where I'm just like, oh, I can help you. No, I actually have been through some things. I'm from here. I've seen the changes, positive and negative, and the things that can go on that can hinder people from wanting to get the help and assistance that they need. But we're here to have that easy handoff and to say, hey, we're here to help, and we're not making any judgments.
Outstanding. Well, thank you. I appreciate what you're doing. I see you everywhere, so I know you all are doing it. You all are everywhere. So
Absolutely,
I appreciate
and we're going to continue to do that.
You going everywhere.
Right.
You heard that community. You heard it. So I want to take a few more. The Prove project. Can you speak a little more about that? I know people have heard it, and for me, it's a very, very important work that you all are doing. So can you all speak to that for those that are listening?
I'm going to speak on it, but I'm going to speak on it probably the most confidently that I have in the last 4 years, simply because doing this work has come with its own unique set of challenges, right? I get asked questions about why you're so patient, and then I also get asked questions of why are you working with them, and I get always asked questions or well, I don't see you doing this, or I don't see you doing that.
Sure.
For instance, we're not the type of people that's going to stand up in front of a crowd that we know is not going to hear what we're saying. We spend the bulk of our time with people who want help, people who don't know that they need help as well. So Prove is proactive, responsible, it's outreach. We do that as an opposition to violence, and we use education to do that. We educate people on the consequences of their actions. We educate a young mother when she's arguing with the child's father and he's already told you that he can be combative. We want her to understand, okay, so where are you gonna go, right? Like what comes next after this, right? What happens to the child? So even when we doing our after school program, they're all intertwined. It's interlinked. We can't help out the child and ignore the parent.
Absolutely.
It's impossible.
I agree.
But we started doing this project in 2022. We are one of 2 people who responded to an RFP to do community violence intervention. We, along with Mark and one other person that was with us, went to New Jersey to get the training. When we went to New Jersey to get the training, there was a lot of lack in that exercise. We saw a lot of passionate people. We saw people who were still in the streets, halfway in the streets, halfway out the streets. So that gave me an idea of what I was probably getting into. Countless hours, I can't tell you that I worked at 8 to 5. We help out people that are really not even in our wheelhouse, right? So we have to help out people who are unhoused because they're violent situations. I know what a block is, right? I know, but I also know how to navigate the block.
Yes,
right?
yes,
and
absolutely.
sometimes you have to go to the block to let them know, hey man, selling drugs is one thing, hustling is another thing. But when the guns come out, lights get dimmer, right? It go, and you have to talk to people straight up and let them know exactly what's going to happen, because we know once gunfire starts going off, the grandmother who don't use drugs is going to pick up the phone and call the police, right? So we want to be one of those ones that you call before you dial the last one in 911, right? Let us be one of the options that you reach out to and say, hey, this is a situation or this is a scenario. I want to leave, but where do I go? And part of the PROVE project is to identify where there is to go. A problem that Fayetteville, not just Fayetteville, Cumberland County has, but if you're a man and a woman and you're in a relationship and you're unhoused, there's really nowhere for you guys to go together, right? If you are a man and you're raising your kids and you need somewhere to go, it's different for you than it is for a woman that's raising her kids, right? So there are organizations and people out here that are addressing issues but don't have the capacity to serve all the way or to fulfill the whole entire service. So we have to work in communion. Tamika talked about partnership. We have to do that. We have to be strategic, right? We have to do things that people may have not heard of before. Troy has held an event over in Utah Shopping Center where he was selling plants, or people were coming together selling plants. But it was an opportunity for us to pass out a flyer, because the lady that is buying a plant may be doing that as some type of therapy for what's going on inside of her home.
That's true.
Right? Substance abuse. Listen, I'll advocate against this forever. There should not be a tobacco store on every corner in the hood. All right? We know for a fact that they're not carding kids. We know for a fact that Spice is back. We know for a fact that most of the things that they sell in there that kids don't want to go buy is not good for them. We do not know the consequences of vaping right now. But I ask kids, when I tell them to stop vaping, would you turn around and put your phone in your mouth all day? Because that's the essential of you vaping, right? And I've had grandparents call me and say, what's the difference between vaping and smoking weed? My question to the grandmother was, do you see them doing it all the time? She said, yes. I said, well, addiction. You don't need to know all the details. You just need to know that a 14-year-old should not be putting a battery-powered device in their mouth all day long. So we don't just try to keep people from hurting each other again. We want people to look at the outcomes of violence before they even resort to that, right? So we are probably 70% prevention and 30% intervention. Understood. Because if we prevent, we don't have to intervene. Right. Prevention actually requires more work. It requires more boots on the ground. So you see some people in our staff, but this is not everybody. Right? We got people that work 10 hours a week. We got a young man that just does video games with kids to keep them out of the streets, to keep them with somebody in their face, right? So the group theory was founded on Got Your Back. We are 19 years in with Got Your Back, right? So this is not something that I dreamed one day would happen. This is something that I woke up one day and said, you're gonna have to, I'm gonna give you the tools and you gotta make it do what it do. So I'm very humble with the staff. I'm very grateful for Fayetteville State University, the amount of interns that we've had over there that's helped us fill in the gaps where we didn't have no money.
Great partnership.
And I'm also, we all need to thank our families. I'm gonna say on record, I appreciate my wife. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Right,
okay?
Gloria.
I tell people all the time, I couldn't be married to no other person to do what I do. I've been going since 4 o'clock this morning. So you got to think that it is a thankful job. And when I bring people in and I hire them, I tell them, you're not going to get a pat on the back, brother. Ain't no cheerleaders outside cheering for what you do. All right? And does everybody who we partner with understand what we're doing, including the city and city council members? No. And it's important that they do understand the work that we do, and at the same time, not try to understand everything that we do to their liking or to their standards. So we're thankful for the OCS, the Office of Community Safety. We look forward to what we can do and to support John Jones as a director and his staff over there as they build it out and they battle it out to try to build it out. They'll be our neighbors soon, so we'll welcome them into our community, because this is our community, and help them thrive, because this is the work that we've been doing all this time. And I appreciate Murchison Road going all the way back to 2004 for allowing me to have this platform to live here.
I appreciate it. Well, before we close, again, you've been listening to Dialogue with the Doc. I want to give 20 seconds, last words. Let's start with you, Ms. Bryant.
Patience and understanding. That's what we need in our community.
Love and care.
One waters, one plants, one waters, and God gets the increase. So that's what we out here doing.
Absolutely.
I would say empowerment, just to know that we can empower the youth to make a change. They are our future. And in order to continue this work, we have to instill in them with the education. So we definitely shout out to the youth for being here.
Yes,
and thank you for coming.
All. Yes, thank you all.
And I'm just excited to see what y'all do. And I'm excited for the Prove project. I'm excited for the group theory. I'm excited for all the work that we got going
Absolutely. And Mr. Brooks, as you give yours, can you share with our listeners how can they reach you? What are your contact information? Because I know you all have given out some great information. So how can someone reach you?
I'm going to give you Tamika's number now. No, a way to get both of us is to call the office at 910-229-3013. But we do a lot through electronic email and our website. If you wanted to get your kid in the after-school program, you can go to the website, thegrouptheory.com, and click the Build Yourself button. We'll be in touch with you within 24 to 48 hours. Our office, again, is located in Mercus Road, but you can't just walk in our door because we don't ever know who's going to be in there when you get there. We may be handling something. But shout out to Jamie Sellers, too. We are part of a teen church. We're supporting that. Shout out to Krista Miller, who's trained our staff on anger management and those type of things. And what I will say to close, to my board members that have been with the group theory since 2016, and to the patrons and the barbers that started out with me at Tremors Barbershop doing Got Your Back, I'll say a humble thank you. Everything that we do is strategically and is intentional, and I know how old I am. That's why I'm trying to surround myself with younger people, but I also know when it's time to move out of the way to move people in. And right now we have some young brothers and sisters across this city and across this community that should be allowed to have their space and stop telling us that we're duplicating services when you're not funding one organization to do enough of those services.
That is fair.
So I stand tall on that.
Yes,
and
that is fair.
I'm old enough now, I'm not afraid of anything or anybody. I'm respectful, and I love my people, and my motto is difference does not mean division.
Awesome. I'm with you there, man. We stand firm on that. So I am excited. Thank you all so much. Group Theory, we thank you. Prove Project, I thank each and every one of you. Young folks, I appreciate you. I really do. Please know you are appreciated. You are valued, and we are here to support you. So again, we thank you. You've been listening to Dialogue with the Doc on WIDU 1600 AM. Join us next month, 9:30 a.m.